Now we are going to discuss about the phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata, also known as vertebrata. As we know about the vertebrata, the organisms which they consisting of vertebral column, we are calling it as a vertebrata here. Regarding the phylum Chordatans or vertebratans mainly consisting of four main hallmark characteristics. The four main characteristics they are consisting of. The four main characteristics which the chordatans may consisting of or vertebratans may consisting of, they may include mainly notochord, notochord, pharyngeal gill slits and then post-anal tail. The organisms which possess these four hallmark characters, we are calling them as a chordatans, right? Notochord we had, notochord we had, pharyngeal gill slits we had, and then post-anal tail we had. If you see the diagram of the typical chordata, this is a diagram of the typical chordata here. In this typical chordata diagram, if you observe here, notochord. First we will discuss about the notochord. Notochord is the long, flexible, rod-like structure which is extending from the anterior side to the posterior side in the mid-dorsal line. In the mid-dorsal line, which is present exactly beneath the notochord, we are saying. And regarding the notochord which is there in the chordatans, infants always consisting of a notochord. In the further developmental stages, that means adult forms, in the adult forms, notochord develops into vertebral column. The notochord will be developing into vertebral column, we are saying. Then when we are coming about the next point here about the notochord, and then before the notochord here, always remember this point here, notochord is of mesodermal origin. It is of the mesodermal origin, we are saying. That means as it is originating, as it is present in the mid-dorsal line, that means middle portion. Hence we are calling it as a mesodermal. That means meso, it means middle, we are saying. Mesodermal origin, we are saying. If you are considering about the notochord, as we know, notochord is present above the notochord. That means upper layer, upper side of the notochord, we are saying. Notochord is always ectodermal in origin. We are calling the notochord as ectodermal in origin because it is present outer layer. It is present outer side. Hence we are calling ectodermal in origin. As we know about the notochord, and regarding the notochord here, in the notochord, actually notochord which is there in the chordatans here, the anterior part in the further developmental stages, the anterior part of the notochord develops into brain and the posterior part of the notochord develops into spinal cord in the further developmental stages. When we are coming for the third point, that is the pharyngeal gill slits. Name itself indicate pharyngeal gill slits, we are saying. That means the chordatans, in the chordatans, the pharynx region which they consisting of a perforations, which they consisting of a holes, that things we are calling as what gill slits we are calling. As we know, gills are for the respiration and the gills are for the exchange of the gases. Here pharyngeal gill slits which are present in the chordatans, they are always helpful, they are always useful for the respiration and exchange of gases. And remember this point always, most of the chordatans, they are the aquatic. Hence they always follow, they always undergo the gill respiration, right? That's why the gills are responsible for the respiration, we are saying. Then apart from the pharyngeal gill slits, lastly we had the post-anal tail, we are saying. Now what about the post-anal tail now? Here, as we know here, post-anal tail, that means the posterior part of the typical chordate, it will be consisting of a tail part, we are saying. That's why we are calling it as a post-anal tail, right? And what is the importance of the post-anal tail in the chordatans here? As in the post-anal tail which is present in the chordatans, it is always helpful as a balancing organ. That why it is useful as a balancing organ? Remember this point, as we discussed now only, most of the chordatans, they are aquatic, we are saying. As most of the chordatans, they are aquatic, they are swimming. They are swimming in the water, we are saying. When they are swimming in the water, they have to maintain their balance of the body here. That balance of the body is mainly maintained by what? Mainly maintained by the post-anal tail, right? Equilibrium of the body is maintained by the post-anal tail, we are saying. These are the four main hallmark characters of the chordatans, we are saying. Then apart from these four hallmark characters, if you see the outline classification of the chordata, that means subphylum, superclass, all these things, we are seeing this outline classification of the chordata. The chordatans which we had here, the chordata, phylum chordata is divided into three subphylums. It is divided into three subphylums. The three subphylums mainly consisting of Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Urochordata, Cephalochordata cephalochordata we had. Then the third subphylum will be vertebrata or craniata. Vertebrata or craniata. These are the three subphylums. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylums, we are saying. The three subphylums mainly consisting of what? Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. If you are seeing the names, of the subphylums here, name itself indicate here Euro. Name itself indicate Euro. It means tail part. The term always Euro. It means always indicate the tail part here, right? Chorda. It means notochord. That means the organisms which they consisting of a notochord in the tail part. That type of organisms we are calling as what? Urochordata. Urochordata also called as tunicates. They are also called as tunicates, we are saying, because they consisting of a tunic layer. It is covered by the outer tunic layer. Hence, we are also calling the Urochordata as what? Tunicates we are calling. Example of the Urochordata, always we can take it as Acidia or Acidians. And then Salpa also we can take the example. Acidians we can take the example for the Urochordata we are saying. And remember this point always, Urochordata always consisting of a open type of circulatory system. Urochordata always consisting of what? Open type of the circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system, it means in the Urochordata blood vessels are absent. That thing we are calling as what? Open type of circulatory system we are saying. Now, if you are moving for the Cephalochordata, the name itself indicate here cephalo or cephalic region, it means head region we are saying. That means head region we are saying. That means what is happening here? The Cephalochordata we are given the name because here the Cephalochordata, chorda it means notochord we know. Chorda it means notochord we are saying. Notochord we are saying. Here what is happening here actually? The organisms which they consisting of a notochord in the head region, or else the notochord which is extending from the head region to tail region, that type of organisms we are calling as what? Cephalochordatas or subphylum Cephalochordata we are saying. Cephalochordata example always consisting of what? Branchiostoma. Branchiostoma is the example of the Cephalochordata we are saying. And the important point here, as we discussed about the open circulatory system, this Cephalochordata is consisting of a closed type of circulatory system. Name itself indicate closed type, it means Cephalochordata is consisting of a blood vessels. Hence we are calling as a closed type of circulatory system. If you are moving for the third subphylum, that is a vertebrata or craniata, name itself indicate vertebrata we are saying, that means mainly it is consisting of a vertebral column we are saying. Craniata, it is also known as craniata we are saying. We are calling it as craniata because this vertebrates, this subphylum vertebrata organisms consisting of a cranium. Cranium is always known as a brain box, as we know. Hence we are calling as what? Hence we are calling as craniata. Now the subphylum vertebrata again divide into two superclasses. Again divide into what? Two superclasses. The two superclasses mainly consisting of what now? Two superclasses we are saying. The two superclasses mainly consisting of Agnatha. Agnatha we had. Then Gnathostomata. Agnatha we had. Then Gnathostomata we had. Here, these are the two superclasses we are saying. Agnatha, Gnathostomata are the two superclasses. Two superclasses. Here, what is happening again here? Agnatha, Gnathostomata are the two superclasses. Here, the name itself indicate here. Agnatha, it means absent. Right? Gnatha, the term always indicate jaws here. That means the organisms in which the jaws are absent, that organisms we are calling as what? Agnathas. The Agnatha again, it is consisting of two classes mainly. The two classes mainly consisting of what? They are mainly Cyclostomata we have. Cyclostomata we have two classes. Cyclostomata, then Ostracodermi. Ostracodermi we have. Ostracodermi is extinct. It is an extinct class. That means these organisms are not present on the land. That's why we are calling it as an extinct class we are saying. Ostracodermi organisms are the extinct class we are saying. If you are coming for the Cyclostomata class here, by seeing the name only we can say cyclo. It means circular. Cyclo, the term always indicate what? Cyclo, the term always indicates circular we are saying. Cyclo, the term always indicates circular. Stomium. Stomium, it always indicates the mouth. It always indicates the mouth we are saying. The organisms which they consisting of a circular mouth we are calling as what? Cyclostomates here. Cyclostomates mainly consisting of two examples. The two examples mainly consisting of what? Petromyzon, then myxin. Petromyzon and myxin, both are the examples of what? Both are the examples of the cyclostomates we are saying. This is about the class Agnatha, right? Superclass Agnatha we are saying. If you are seeing about the Gnathostomata, now we got the Agnatha, then we can easily compare about the Gnathostomata. Gnathostomata, the name itself indicate here, Gnatho, which consisting of jars. And stomium, it means what? Stomium, it means mouth we are saying. That means Gnathostomatans are the organisms which are consisting of jars in their mouth we are saying. Completely opposite to the Agnathans we are saying. Now again the Gnathostomatans, we are dividing into two classes here. The two classes mainly consisting of what? The two classes mainly consisting of a Pisces and tetrapods. The mainly consisting of what? Pisces and tetrapods we are saying. The mainly consisting of superclass Gnathostomata is divided into two classes again. Two classes mainly consisting of what here? Pisces we are saying. Then tetrapods we are saying. Pisces and tetrapods. Pisces, name itself indicate. Pisces always we are calling as a fishes. Pisces always we are calling as the fishes here. Again the Pisces which are there, we are dividing the Pisces into again two classes. The two classes mainly consisting of what? Chondrichthyes, Ostrycthyes. Two classes again. Two classes, Chondrichthyes and then Ostrycthyes. Chondrichthyes and then Ostrycthyes. These are the two classes here. Now, name itself indicate Chondrichthyes we are saying. Right? Chondra, the term always indicate cartilage we are saying. Chondra, the term always indicate cartilage. Ichthyes, the term always indicate fishes. That means Chondrichthyes are the cartilaginous fishes, which are consisting of cartilage. We are calling as what? Chondrichthyes, right? Example of the Chondrichthyes fishes mainly we can take as a Sporiodon. That means dogfish we can take. Then torpedo, electric fish we can take. Examples of the Chondrichthyes we are saying. If you take about the Ostrycthyes, name itself indicate. Ostion, it means bone. Ichthyes, it means fish. Ostion, it means bone we are saying. Ichthyes, it means fishes we are saying. That means bony fishes. Ostrycthyes, it means what? Bony fishes we are saying. Examples of the Ostrycthyes mainly we can take as a hippocampus. Hippocampus we are saying. Seahorse. Hippocampus also known as seahorse we are saying. Then labio, cutla, all these things we can get in the freshwater fishes. Labio, cutla we can get in the bony fishes, that is the Ostrycthyes. This is about the Pisces, class Pisces we are saying. It is belongs to the Gnathostomata. If you see about the tetrapods, name itself indicate, by the name only we can say tetrapods. Tetra it means 4, right? Tetra it means 4 here. Tetrapods we are saying. Again the tetrapods are divided into mainly 4 classes we had. Tetrapods again divided into 4 classes. The 4 main classes of the tetrapods we are saying. The 4 main classes mainly consisting of what? Amphibians we had, class amphibians, reptiles, then class aves, then lastly mammals. We are saying. That means that's why we call it as a tetra. Tetra it means 4 classes we are saying. Now if you are getting about the amphibians, name itself indicate amphi, it means 2. The organisms which they can live in the land and water, we are calling as what? Amphibians. We are calling it as amphibians. Example we can take as what? Example we can take as a Rana tigrina. Rana tigrina we can take the example. That is a frog. Frog we can take the example. Reptiles we are saying. Reptiles example mainly consisting of what? Snake and lizards. That means Naja we can take. Naja we can take. Cobra. Then lizards also we can take the example. Then aves we are saying. Aves always indicate the birds, right? Aves always indicate. Class aves includes the birds. Example we can take the pigeon, Columbia livia, pigeon we are taking the example. That means all the birds we are taking the example. And mammals we are taking the example as a human beings here. Human beings and other animals we can take the example. Monkey, other animals, Mukaka. Monkey scientific name is Mukaka we are saying. Example we can take as a human beings, that means Homo sapiens, simple example we can take here. Now this is about the classification of the chordata we are saying, right? Again we will discuss about the chordata, just outline of the classification here. The chordata which we had here, the phylum Chordata we are dividing into three subphylums we are saying, that is the Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata we are saying. The Urochordata, which we are, the name itself indicate Euro, it means tail part we are saying. Then the chordata, that means chorda, it means notochord we are saying. The notochord which is present in the tail part we are saying as what? Urochordata we are saying. Example, we can take the Ascidians, we can take Cephalochordata, the name itself indicate here cephalic, it means head region. Always wherever we are getting the term as cephalic, we are saying it as a head region. Chorda, it means notochord we are saying. The notochord which is extending from the anterior side to the posterior side, we are saying as what? Cephalochordans. Example, we can take as a branchiostoma. Then third subphylum. The third subphylum we are saying as a vertebrata or craniata we are saying. As we know, as they consisting of vertebral column, we are saying as vertebrata. And as they possess the cranium. Cranium is a brain box. Hence we are saying as what? Craniata. We are also calling it as a craniata. Vertebrata, again we are divided into two superclasses on the basis of the presence of jaws here. Two superclasses mainly consisting of what? One is Agnatha, then Gnathostomata. Name itself indicate A, always indicate the absence. Gnatha, it means jaws are absent in this Agnathans. Agnathans again divided into two classes we are saying. One is the Cyclostomata, then Ostracodermi. Ostracodermi class we are not considering because they are extinct. They are not present on the land here. Hence we are not considering. Next, if you are seeing that Cyclostomata, name itself indicates cyclo, it means circular. Stomium, it means mouth we are saying, right? And here regarding the Cyclostomatas, as they consisting of circular mouth, we are saying about cyclostomates we are saying. If we take the example of the cyclostomata organisms here, two examples we can take. There is a Petromyzon, then Myxin. Petromyzon is also known as lamprey. Myxin is also known as hagfish, right? Then if you are moving for the Gnathostomata, other superclass, that is the Gnathostomata, if you are moving, the name itself indicate Gnatho, which is consisting of jaws, and stomata, it means mouth here. That means in their mouth the jaws are present, hence we are calling as Gnathostomatas. Gnathostomatas again we are dividing into two classes, that is the Pisces and tetrapods here. Name always indicate Pisces, it means fishes we are saying. And then the Pisces again we are dividing into two main classes, that means two main fish types here. Chondrichthyes we are saying, two main classes, Chondrichthyes class, Ostrichthyes. Chondrichthyes, name itself indicate chondra, it means cartilage, ichthyes, it means fishes. Chondrichthyes always we are calling as a cartilaginous fishes. Examples we can take as a Scoliodon, dark fish we are saying. Then Torpedo we are saying as electric fish. Then Ostrichthyes, name itself indicate osteology is the study of bones, right? Osteo always indicate the bone, and ichthyes, it means fishes we are saying bony fishes. Ostrichthyes, it means what? Bony fishes we are saying. Example we can take as a hippocampus, it is a seahorse we can take the example, and then freshwater fishes like labio, and then kata we can take. And very important that the tetrapods, name itself indicate tetra, it means four we are saying. That tetrapods again divided into four main classes, four main important classes we are saying. They are actually amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals. Name itself indicate amphibians are the organisms which they can live both in land and water. Right? Amphibians example we can take as a Rana tigriana, that is a frog is a common example for the amphibians which it can live in the land and water. Then reptiles we are saying, reptiles, the class reptiles or class reptilia is always consisting of what? Main examples we can take as snakes and lizards here. Snakes, lizards, tortoise, all these things we can take the example. Here we took the example as a naja, that is a cobra. Right? And then aves, class aves always includes the birds we are saying. Right? Then example here we took the Columbia livia, that is the pigeon, scientific name we are saying. The Psittacola is the scientific name of the other bird we can take here. Parrot we can take here. Then mammals, as the organism they consisting of mammary glands, hence we are calling them as a mammals we are saying. Mammals, common example we can take as a Homo sapiens, that is the human beings we are saying. Apart from the Homo sapiens we can take as a monkey, right? All these things we can take the example for the mammals. This is about the chordata, basic characters, classification, outline of the classification about the chordatas.